Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet two people behind a driving force to help veterans with PTSD. It's a very unique program. It's called the Agrihood. Next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, if you think about America's heroes, the veterans who go off to war and they put their lives on the line for our freedom, they come back, and often many of them are struggling. Famously, we hear about 22 veterans commit suicide every single day. So a different way to look at PTSD and dealing with depression among our nation's heroes is the folks who are on my show right now, the co-hosts of the Agrihood, Gene Callaway and Jason Mitchell. Thanks both for coming on the show.
Oh, man, thank you for having us. This is awesome.
Well, and you both have a personal reason for being involved. Why don't we start with you, Jason?
Well, both my parents were in the military, and my mom was fortunate enough not to go to war, but my dad did. And I don't think he was ever the same. You know, it was nothing easy for him to talk about, but ultimately it led to his suicide. And I thought I was obviously going through something unique. But I wasn't, you know, to learn that so many families were going through that every day. It was just like, man, this is crazy. We have to do something for the people who are taking care of us, you know?
Gene, how about you?
I've got lots of family members that are active and retired military, a lot of friends, a lot of close acquaintances. And, you know, it almost borders on mistreatment, you know, rather than just ignoring people at some point in time. And I met Jason a while ago, and we had this idea, and we're finally putting it together. And we're honored to be able to put this program together to help people and lower that, you know, 16 to 20 a day that you talk about.
Absolutely. More from Jason and Gene in a second, but they produced a trailer for their docuseries. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
This is the Agrihood, a place where the healthiest way of living meets sustainable farming, and a little drama too. Over the next few months, we're gonna grow the farm, we're gonna build the houses, we're gonna find the tenants, we're gonna get the animals, we're gonna go through it all, and we're gonna take you along for the ride. Oh, and we brought them some local experts too.
Hey y'all, I'm Gene, and I'm gonna make sure this project actually happens. Bringing this to town is gonna change lives, and hopefully some of the lives of the people watching too. You're gonna see a lot, you're gonna learn a lot, and hopefully feel a little something as well. Here at the Agrihood, we would like to help vets with PTSD through gardening, through grounding therapy, through equine therapy.
When you're in a place like this where literally the ground beneath your feet is your healing, and people truly believe that, I think that most veterans are gonna wanna try it, right? And if it helped me just a little bit to get off of medication, dude, it was key. It was key to trying. From the very beginning of existence, we grew up on the soil. If you're gonna fix anybody's combat traumas, you have to give them a chance to start over. And you're kind of starting over just with the dirt every time. I mean, you're planting something different, you're watching how it grows, and you're fixing how you do it for the next time.
The VA, sometimes they can't help. They can't help as much as we wish that they could. They just can't do it. There's too many veterans in this world that deal with the same thing that we deal with. So that's a big issue that I had with getting out of the military, is the resources weren't as easily as available as I was expecting. They truly were. PTSD is it's not easy to admit that you have it. So I think that's a big thing that needs to change.
But nobody does anything about it. We're doing something about it. It's a big deal.
So impressed. One of the things you talked about in the trailer is prescription medication.
Yes.
Let's spend a couple minutes talking about that, because a lot of veterans, they're being seen by a doctor who's too quick to write a prescription.
Right. You know, it's incredible to think about how many people can be misdiagnosed, right? We talked about this with our counselor. A lot of times, you know, when you can't see somebody having some sort of physical ailment, you do the easiest thing that you can do to get them out of there. You know, you just want them to say, okay, I've done all I can do. But truthfully, you know, spiritually, your body is electric. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to be able to ground yourself. Like, if you don't do that, like if you don't ground the electricity in your house, it could knock all the power out. It could kill someone. Right. And I think that has a lot to do with, you know, why people don't find balance. So we're trying to find the most holistic ways to go about doing this.
All right, Gene, let's go a little deeper. So doctor writes 2 or 3 prescriptions, and then the veteran is also self-medicating with alcohol. Right. It creates a lethal cocktail, doesn't it?
It does. And it also, that veteran every morning wakes up and looks at the pill box that he has. And he's like, if I don't take these 7 prescriptions today, then I'm not going to be able to survive. Right. You know, that's not what you want. You want to wake up in the morning and be like, you know what, I've got to get chicken eggs out of the coop. You know, I've got cows to feed and I've got a garden to tend to. They need purpose in life rather than just popping pills.
Right.
And as much as people want to help, sometimes we have the opposite effect of that. You know, there's never a quick fix to anything. The prescription drugs definitely are not the quick fix, because then you have to get another one to offset the effects of the other 2 that you've taken, you know?
Right. 2 more to make sure you don't end up with a short leg.
Yeah. So we're just trying to take in a different approach. All the stuff that we've done, there's data behind the science. It's not just something that Jason and Gene came up with one day at the dinner table. Right. You know, it works. So that's why we're here talking to you. We need to get the funding for it to put the program together. You know, we put almost $1 million in it between the 2 of us.
Wow, that's impressive. And so you have some property near Lake Texoma?
We do, yeah. We've got 22 acres. The episode that'll be coming out here pretty quick. It's supposed to be today, maybe by the end of the day today, where we went and bought our first, what did we buy, 5 cows?
Yes.
Supposed to buy 3?
Yeah. We got a little excited. It was my first time, but beautiful experience, man. Absolute beautiful experience.
All right, so we've got some video from our library of veterans with depression, and let's talk about just how prevalent this is, because we talk about 22 a day, and that may be underestimating the number of veterans who commit suicide every day or have suicidal thoughts. So, Jason, do you want to talk about that? The VA Medical Center, they can't address this. I mean, this is a huge problem.
Yeah, very true. You know, it's so funny, because I would like to remember a day that I saw my dad depressed. You know, I saw him drink, but I thought that's what adults did, you know. I just wish I knew something. I wish, you know, he spoke to someone about it. But depression just doesn't have a face, unfortunately. And a lot of times it doesn't have a voice. So, yeah.
Gene, do you think, I mean, when we think about our nation's heroes, they're warriors. So they're stealing for combat.
Yeah.
And so do some veterans feel like it's a sign of weakness to ask for help?
So we've got 400 or 500 people that have put in applications to be in our first 10 homes that we get put together. We have 2 that you saw that were in the interview. We have polar opposites with those. We have Wes and we have Mitch. Wes was in a mud hut in Afghanistan where a guy came in with a C4 vest and blew him through the mud hut. You know, his buddies were DOA when they got there. He's dragging people out. And then you have Mitch, who didn't do active service, but you still have PTSD, because as a kid, when you go into the military, they strip you of your identity, and they, like Jason Bourne, right? And they write the identity that they want you to have.
Right.
Well, one day you wake up and you're out of the military, and you don't have to put on a uniform. You don't have to make your bed. What do? I mean, you've been trained to do something your whole life, and you only got to do it for 4 years, and now you have no outlet. You have no purpose. You have no identity.
Jason, I see you wiping away tears. What's going on in your heart right now?
I've been acting, I think this year will be 15 years. And, you know, although I'm telling some great stories, I did this great film, Mudbound, that was kind of about the same thing. You know, my grandfather, he had an experience where he went to war, went to the Korean War, came home, still made him use the back door, you know, and like a lot of people are still dealing with that just in a different way. You know what I mean? It may not be racism, but I mean, I just can't imagine how some of these people feel. And I hope I'm making my dad proud right now, you know? So many feelings.
That's so beautiful. We've got about 2 minutes left. So, Gene, do you want to talk to the people watching at home, how they can support you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a 501c nonprofit that you can donate to. It's the Agrihood. You can reach us at It's Jason Mitchell on YouTube. All the subscriptions, all the views help out. So all the funds that we can get in through that, we dump back into the program. Email, contact Jason now at Gmail. Yeah. Or for me, callaway.gene@gmail.com. Any questions, any concerns? We really need you guys to help do this. And it's a donation. It's for a great cause. And we're going to try, when we get our website up and going, to have our books open for the nonprofits so you can actually see where your money's going, because a lot of nonprofits will take 90% and give 10%. We're going to try to run on a 30% operation base. So 70% of the funds will go into the program that we're doing. That's our goal. But at the end of the day, you're going to be able to log on to our website and see where the funds are being allocated, so you can decide if next year you want to donate to the program again or not.
Outstanding. Guys, thank you so much for sharing your heart and your wisdom with us. Let's end with the YouTube channel again, which is It's Jason Mitchell. Guys, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
You bet.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.